Hello everybody. Just gonna wait for everyone to get a chance to join in here. Hello Mike. Okay, so while we're waiting for everyone to join in, I will tell you guys a bit about me and what we're going to do today. So, my name's Erica. I am a para canoe athlete. I'm from the Balmy Beach Canoe Club, and I'm going to be leading you guys in a little bit of a core workout and some mobility work as well. So I'll just wait for 2 o'clock and then I'll start demonstrating the core workout, and then we're going to do 2 rounds of 8-minute abs. So we're going to go with 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off, and then we're going to do about 20 minutes of mobility work at the end as well. And if you guys have any questions as we go along, you can just for me in general about myself and about my paddling, being on the national team, going to the Paralympics, anything you guys want to ask. I am an open book, so you can ask me that. But also, if you have any questions about the workout, you can any clarifications, ask those as well. Hi, Jessica. Okay, and in terms of what you'll need for this workout, if you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, that would be great. And then also anything that you think you might need to do planks. So I know some para athletes like to use a foam roller under their knees, or a cushion, Bosu ball, whatever you guys need. You can get that now. For me, I have a foam roller, and that's really helpful for me to doing planks. I just discovered that recently and makes it 10 times easier for me. Hi, Dave. All right, so we'll wait about 2 more minutes and then we'll get started, and I will demonstrate the core exercises that we're going to be doing. And if you guys want to leave a comment about where you guys are watching from, and maybe I want to keep it interactive, so maybe let me know what you guys are doing to get through quarantine and how you guys are staying fit and healthy during this time. We'll just wait 1 more minute and then I will start demonstrating the core exercises we're going to do today. Hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining. So again, we're going to be doing 2 times 8-minute abs, and then we're going to be doing some core work. So I'll start by demonstrating the core exercises that we're going to be doing today. So we're going to start with a basic plank. So on your forearms, keeping the hips down, core tight. And then you're going to come into a seated position, legs extended out in front, and you're going to lift your heels on each side. So we're going to switch halfway through, switching legs, and after that we're going to move on to our backs, and we're going to do alternating leg raises. So you can keep your head on the ground for these ones, keeping the core tight, and just switching legs. After that, we're going to do some feet up crunches. So you can just bring your legs up and reach up for your toes. After that, we're going to go into some foot-to-foot oblique crunches. So you can come up into a crunch position and then reach for your toes on each side, alternating sides. The next one is just regular classic crunches. So you can have your arms behind your head, keep your chin tucked towards your chest, and crunching just like that. The next one is Russian twist. So you can come into a seated position. You can keep your legs on the ground if you need to, but if you can, lift your feet off the ground, and you're going to rotate from side to side and try to do that as fast as you can. And the last one is shoulder taps. So we're going to come back into the plank position, and you're just going to alternate sides, lifting up your hand and touching the opposite shoulder. Okay. I'm going to also demonstrate some modifications that you guys can do. So for the plank, if you want to just go on your knees, that's fine. Or if you want to come down onto your hips, that's also fine too. For the crunches, you can, leg up crunches, you can just do regular crunches. And yeah, if there's any modifications that you guys need to make, feel free to do those as well. So I have my timer here, and we're going to get started right away. So, oh no. Okay, so get ready in your plank position, and we're gonna go for 45 seconds. So ready, up into plank. So yeah, just taking whatever modification you need to do. If you want to go onto your knees, that's fine. Just try to think about engaging your core and keeping your hips low and tucked in. Almost there, 15 seconds left. Okay, and I'm going to come down, take a quick 15-second break. And we're going to go right into heel raises. So again, we're going to switch sides halfway through. So sitting up nice and tall and just lifting up the heel on one side. Try not to let your foot touch the ground in between. This one I saw demonstrated from Mark O's work in last week, and I was really surprised about how hard and challenging this one is. Okay, and then you can switch sides. And then, yeah, 5 more seconds, sorry. And the next one is going to be laying alternating leg raises. So you can come back down to your back. 15-second break goes by pretty quickly. Okay, and straight into the alternating leg raises. If this one's not working for you, you can also try doing them both at the same time, or like for amputees, if you want to cross your legs over, if you have one leg that's better than the other, you can also do that. Five more seconds. And we're going to go into the leg up crunches. So you can stay on your back. And just reaching up for your toes. And obviously, if this one's not working, you can just do a regular classic crunch or whatever variation works for you as well. Perfectly fine. Okay, take a little break before we go into our foot-to-foot crunches. So we're going to be working our obliques here. And the 15-second rest always goes by so fast. But we're almost done our first set here. So just reaching for your toes on each side. Should really feel it in the sides of your belly, so in your obliques. Try to keep your chin tucked in as well, so you're not putting too much strain on your neck. Sorry, take a rest. And we're going to go into just regular crunches now. Just doing feet on the ground, knees bent, and just crunching up. Again, keeping your chin tucked in, not putting too much strain on your neck. I'm really starting to feel it now. I don't know about you guys, but we have 2 more. We're almost there. Okay, so sitting up now, coming into Russian twist. So again, we're just rotating from side to side here. If you're able to, lift your feet off the ground, makes it harder. I know we're used to doing this in the canoe clubs, usually with lots of weight, but if you don't have weights, you can work on it just work on your speed instead of working on it with weights. It's another way to make it challenging. Sorry. So 15-second rest, and we're doing our last exercise, shoulder taps. So we're going to come back into the high plank position. So, and just reaching for your shoulder on the opposite side. So try not to rock too much when you do this exercise, and try to keep your core stable in the middle. these are getting too hard, but you want to keep going, go down onto your knees and just keep working for the full 45 seconds. Okay, and that's it. We made it through our first set. We will take about a 3-minute break, and then we'll do it one more time before we go into our stretches. So at the beginning, I asked you guys what you're doing to stay healthy and to make it through quarantine and self-isolation. See some answers are like going out for walks, social distance walks. That's awesome. For me, I found what has been really helpful is keeping a schedule, because you know, before this I was actually at a training camp, so keeping a schedule is pretty easy. You have 3 practices a day, and then by the time you get home at night, you're just exhausted and go to sleep and repeat it all the next day. So I had a pretty hard time adjusting to that, coming home and not really having specific things to do at specific times. But then I found just like taking 5 minutes the night before and writing out like a plan for the next day really helped me feel a little more in control and grounded during this time. Okay, so take a few, maybe 1 more minute, and then we will get into the next set of work. Okay, so we'll get ready for the next set. Hopefully you guys are ready, rested for the next set. Okay, so again, it's just going to be plank, heel raises, alternating leg raises, foot up crunches, foot to foot oblique crunches, regular crunches, brush and twist, and shoulder taps. Okay, so let's get ready in the plank position and we'll start it up again. Okay, ready, go. I always feel like time passes so slowly when you're in a plank. 45 seconds feels like forever. Start. Okay. Okay, you can come down from that and get ready for the heel raises. So legs straight out in the front. And start with your first leg. This one's a killer for the hip flexors and also for the core, just holding myself up here. It's a lot harder than it looks. Yeah, so just make sure you're keeping your back straight and sitting up nice and tall. And switch sides. Find that my right leg is way easier than my left leg. It's funny how we all have our preferred sides for each exercise. Almost there. Okay, and 15 seconds break. And we're going to come into our leg up crunches. Sorry, alternating leg raises. So, lay on your back, legs up, and just switching legs. If you want to make it harder, you can take your, lift your head off the ground and your shoulders. Or just have it keeping your head on the ground too is perfectly fine. Okay, take a rest, and we're going to go into our leg up crunches. Quick 15-second rest. So laying back down and just reaching up for your toes. And try to move as quick as you can for all of these exercises actually. Take a rest, and our next exercise is going to be foot-to-foot oblique crunches. And here we go, starting up again. So in that crunch position, staying up and reaching side to side. So we're trying to work different parts of our core muscles today. So oh no, my timer just died. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a rest. I'm going to improvise here. And we're going to move into our traditional crunches. So I will keep the count for you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, and take a rest. We just have 2 more exercises to go, so take a quick 15-minute rest. Sorry about the timer. 15-second rest. Okay, and we're going to move right into Russian twist now. And take a rest, and we're going to go into our last exercise, and then we'll be done for shoulder taps. Okay, and coming up again into that high plank position, and go. So reaching for the opposite shoulder each time. almost done. A few more seconds here. So I have my mom in the background. She's become my timer. So we know the time is accurate. Okay, there we go. And you can come down. And we're done all our core. So yeah, I'm glad we did that first and got it out of the way. Sorry. So yeah, now we're gonna move into our stretches. Let's just see. All right, so for the for the mobility I'm about to show you, we're going to be focusing on chest, upper back, and hip flexors. So I figured we'd do those ones because they're the ones, at least in kayak, that we experience the most troubles with. And I wanted to make it inclusive for all the para athletes. So we're not going to do too much leg work today. And I wanted to make it something that you wouldn't have to specifically do adaptations for. You could just, like everyone can just follow along without having to modify it. But in saying that, if you do need to take a modification, you can always ask me a question in the in the comments on how to modify the exercise. And also, just as always, stretching to a point that's comfortable for you. Don't go past any point that it becomes painful. So yeah, we'll get started. Sorry, so this is actually not a stretch. I wanted to start with a 3-minute breathing exercise. So it's just going to be quick, but I want you guys just to take a second and just focus on your breath. So a good way to focus on that is to put your hand on your belly and just feel the movement of your hand up and down as you breathe in and out. Or you can always think about feeling your breath as it comes in and out of the tip of your nose. So I know breathing exercises, it might seem like a little bit weird and out there, but it is something that I found really helpful and practical, especially before a race or before, just when I feel myself getting overwhelmed, for example, with the situation we're all dealing with daily. So just continue just focusing on your breath. So you don't have to change it or do anything special, just take a second to focus on it. And if any thoughts come into your mind and get you distracted, that's okay. Just try to always just come back to your breathing. And like I said, if you practice this often, which I do, it can be really helpful, like before a race, like I said. But the key is practicing it so that way when you are stressed and you need to use these techniques, they can come to you really easily. So just take a few more seconds here. Just feeling your breath go in and out. Not forcing anything, just observing it. Okay, great. Now we're gonna actually start our stretches. So, for these ones, you can just be on the floor. I actually, as you can see, I have a chair nearby. If sitting on the ground is uncomfortable for you, you can always just go up into a chair. However, there is some of them that I would suggest that everyone stays on the ground, especially when relying on our stomach and on our back. And also, you can use the chair to help you in some of the exercises, which I'll demonstrate as we go along. So we're just going to start with some shoulder rolls. So rolling your shoulders backwards, and then forwards. Okay, great. And so just some quick shoulder rolls, and we're going to go into some wrist stretches. So if you're able to go up and sit on your heels, that's good. I can only do that with one leg, so I'm just going to stay seated on the ground. But if you're able to go up onto your knees, that's good too. So we're going to start with our wrists facing forwards. Put them down on the ground and just rock back and forth. Just starting to feel a little bit of a stretch. Shouldn't be too intense. Just sort of getting the wrist warmed up. Okay, now you're going to open your wrists to a 90-degree angle. So you're going to open them so the insides of your wrists are touching, and then put them back on the floor. You can rock side to side. Okay, and if that was a big stretch for you to have your wrists like this, you can stay like that. But if you are looking for a deeper stretch, I want you to flip them all the way around so your fingertips are facing towards your body, and then put your wrist back down on the ground. You can also rock back and forth a little bit here, or just hold the position as well. Now you can shake out your wrists, and we're going to go into some cat-cows. So there's two ways to do these. You can do them from sitting, or you can do them in a tabletop position. So if you're staying seated, that's fine. You're just going to round your back like this, and then sit up tall, bringing your hands behind you. And now I will demonstrate it from the tabletop position. But if you're sitting, just follow along with what I'm describing to do with your back, but just do it obviously from a seated position. Okay, so you're going to come up onto your hands and knees if you're able to, and you're going to round your back, tuck your hips under, and look down. Now for the opposite position, you're going to flip your hips upwards, drop your chest down, and look up. So in this position, try to think about having your shoulder blades come together behind your back. And we're going to switch positions again. Try to think about pushing your shoulder blades apart. Pushing down into the ground, rounding your spine, and tucking your hips under. Okay, so now I want us to move between these two positions. You can do them on your own time. So, so just going between the two positions, and try to match it up with your breath. So breathing out when you round your spine, and breathing in when you arch your spine. So we'll just do about 5 of those on our own. Okay, great. So if you're staying on your hands and knees in the tabletop position, I want you guys to now just walk your hands out in front. So you can keep your hips up in the air, and walk your hands forward, and try to think about pressing your chest down towards the ground. It's probably going to be pretty impossible to actually make your chest touch the ground, especially as paddlers, we're pretty tight. But just thinking about pressing your chest in that general direction. Now, if you're not able to go onto your hands and knees, this is where the chair comes in. So what I want you guys to do is just, you can stay seated, put your arms out on the chair, and then just lean down. So it's going to be, sorry, let me demonstrate that going this way. Leaning down like this. So whichever way you're doing the stretch, if you're sitting or on your knees, it's going to work the exact same, so it's going to stretch the exact same muscles. Okay, now you guys can come out of that stretch. We're going to take a little bit of a break and go back into it one more time. I just want to take a little break in between because I know it can be a little bit intense. Okay, and now let's go back into that stretch one more time. So whether you're sitting and having your arms up on a chair, or if you're in this position with me as well, both are perfectly fine. And you're going to come back up onto your hands, and we're going to do some rotations here. So I'm going to demonstrate them in the tabletop position, but you can also just do them seated and just rotating just like this. Alright, so if you're on your hands and knees though, you're going to bring one hand up behind your head, and you're going to open your chest, rotate upwards, and then rotate back down. Bring that elbow under the arm that's supporting you. So we're going to do just 5 on each side. And switch sides. So opposite arm is going to come behind your head, and you're going to open that chest up and then rotate downwards. So this is a pretty key one for kayaking, obviously. Lots of rotation in the upper back. Okay, great. So now you guys can go down onto your belly. And we're just going to go up onto your elbows. And this is a Sphinx Pose. So what I want you guys to think about, actually I'm going to face the camera for this one, is pushing your shoulders away from your neck. So if you're collapsed like this, just think about pressing your arms down to the ground and lengthening your shoulders. Sorry, lengthening your neck, pushing your shoulders down. Still tired from the core workout earlier. So if this is enough of a stretch for you guys, you can stay here. But if you want, you can come up onto your arms. So again, thinking about pressing your shoulders down. And this stretch, it's going to really stretch the front of your body, so a little bit into your pecs, the front of your core muscles, and your hip flexors. Okay, so now I wanted to do some kind of push-ups in this position. So if you are not able to go up onto your hands, you're just going to push up like this. So coming onto the floor and then just pressing up this. And then obviously if you're able to go onto your hands, it's going to be a little bit bigger range of motion. It's going to look like that. So whichever one you're going to do, I want you guys just to do 5 of them. So I will do this one. So just the stretch just makes it a little bit more dynamic. Now, staying on your stomach, I want you guys to bring your arms out into a T position. So lying down, arms out beside your body. And I want you guys to bring your right arm in close by your chest. And then I want you to roll over towards your left arm. So your left ear is going to be coming down to the ground. I don't know if you guys can see me all the way down the ground here, hopefully. So yeah, you're going to feel a stretch in the front of your pec and in the front of your shoulder. And we're just going to hold this one for a few seconds. Okay, great. So switching sides, so bring the other arm straight out beside you. Bring the left hand beside your chest and roll towards that right arm. And bring your right ear to the ground. Come back to the middle. We're going to repeat the same thing on each side, but instead of having our arms in a T beside the body, I want you to bring your arms up into a Y position. So bringing your arms just up above your, so arms just up above your head, but not straight above your head, just like slightly out to the side. So again, bring your right arm in towards your chest and roll towards that left side. And yeah, you can bring your left ear to the ground. So as you can see, we have a theme here of rotation. So we're doing a lot of rotational stretches. So obviously that's where we get all our power in kayaking. It's also good to take care of the muscles that help us do those rotations. Oh, sorry, kayaking and switch arms. So bring that other arm in towards your chest, and we're going to roll towards the right. Okay, and come out of that one, and you guys can flip over onto your backs now. Okay, so the first one we're going to do on our back is angels. So you're just going to lie down and move your arms just as if you're making a snow angel. You can do it lying down on your back. So you can just do about 5 on your own count. Okay, so once you are done those angels, you can stay on your back. Again, it's going to be similar to the one we did on our stomach, but yeah, just opening your arms up into the T, and sorry, that is a lie. We're going to start like this instead, actually. So start lying on your side. So make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other, and then have your arms stacked on top of each other as well. Then what you're going to do is slide your arm across as you roll over onto your back, and then open up into that T position that I just demonstrated. And then you're going to do the same thing to bring it back. So we're going to do 5 on each side, and I'll explain it again. So slide that arm across and roll over onto your back into your arms are in a T. So this is a really good one for your upper back, your thoracic spine. I started working on these in September actually, and it's only now really that I'm actually able to do the full range of motion. So if you're not able to rotate fully onto your back, that's pretty normal, especially for paddlers. That's why I have to work on mobility. Okay, and you can switch sides. You guys can just roll over and then switch sides so you can see the camera though. So again, make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other. Bring your arms together and then slide them as you roll over and open up into a T. Yeah, we're just going to do 5 on this side. Okay, great. So now we're just going to do some external rotations. So what that means, you can stay lying down. I'm just going to demonstrate it sitting up. You're just going to move your arms from these 2 positions. So kind of like you're a goalpost, and then just moving your arms straight down. Make sure you keep your shoulders in line with your elbows, and just rotate from your hands. So let's just do about 5 of those lying down. So try to open your arms up so they're touching the ground, like the backs of your hands are touching the ground, and then bring them forwards as far as you can. So this is one that I like to do in my warm-ups a lot as well too. Okay, so yeah, so just looking after those shoulders, obviously, use them a lot. Okay, so now we're going to come into some side bends. So you can, just stay sitting on the floor. So I want you to lift up one arm and put the opposite arm on the ground. So I have my right arm up, my left arm down. And I'm just going to lean towards the left side, using my left arm as a bit of an anchor. So make sure you're keeping both sides of your hips on the ground. So both, And then if that's not enough of a stretch, you can try to come down towards your elbow. That will make it a little bit deeper. But obviously still keeping both, both sides of your butt on the ground, or else you're kind of defeating the purpose. And let's switch sides. So lift up your left arm, right arm goes down, and lean towards that right side. So yeah, this one you should be feeling in your lats, so just in here and maybe even down into your obliques as well. And again, you can come down to your elbow or towards your elbow, but keeping your butt on the ground and not just collapsing like that, because you're not really going to feel the stretch. Now I want us to do the same thing, but we're just going to move between the two sides. So yeah, just reaching from side to side. And you can try to think about breathing out as you reach, breathing in as you come to the middle, and then breathing out again as you go to the opposite side. So you can do that on your own time, on your own count. And let's try to just do about 8 of them on each side. So again, just doing a little bit more dynamic version of the stretch. Okay, great. So once you've done 5 of those, if you want to sit on a chair for the next ones, if sitting on the floor is getting a little bit too much for you, you can do that. I will do that as well. Sorry. Okay, so we're just going to finish off with some neck stretches. Okay. Sorry. So you can start by just sitting on your right hand. If you don't want to sit on your hand, you can always just hook your arm behind your back like this. So whatever you choose to do, you're going to look down towards the opposite armpit. So I'm sitting on my right hand, so I'm looking towards my left armpit. And this is a good stretch just for the back of the neck. Okay, stay in that stretch for a minute and just okay. So now you can look up and drop your right ear towards, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Sorry, I'm not great with my left and rights. Thank you, Dave, for that nice comment. Okay, you can bring your head back up, and you're gonna look, rotate your head towards the left, and then drop your ear towards your shoulder again. So it's similar to the one we just did. You're just gonna rotate your head slightly before you drop your shoulder down, and that's gonna make you feel the stretch more in the front of your neck. Okay, and let's switch sides. So you can hook the opposite arm behind your back or sit on your hand. So yeah, so now I'm sitting on my left hand, so I'm going to look towards my right armpit. Lift your head back up and drop your ear towards, so drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You're going to feel that one in the side of your neck here. And lift your head back up. Rotate your head slightly towards the right and drop your ear towards that shoulder again. So yeah, this one you're going to feel a lot more in the front of your neck compared to the side of your neck. Okay, and you can lift your head up again. Yeah, so let's just repeat that just quickly on both sides just one more time. So sitting on your opposite hand, so sitting on your right hand looking towards your left armpit. So also, I know we only went through each stretch once, except for this one obviously, but you guys can go back and watch this again and make it a bit of a longer mobility session. Okay, drop your ear towards your shoulder again. So right ear to your right shoulder. And lift your head back up, rotate your head slightly towards the left, and drop your ear towards that shoulder again. This is a stretch that I do very often, all three of these ones, because yeah, I was pretty badly injured a few years ago, not related to my disability, but lift your head back up and we'll look towards the other shoulder, other armpit. So sitting on your left arm, looking towards your right armpit. Yeah, so one of the main things I dealt with was whiplash. So obviously, you don't use your neck to paddle, but it's always just one of those things that is just always kind of a nagging pain. So I have learned to take care of my neck a lot through stretching and mobility, and this that has actually been really helpful for me. And lift your head up and drop your ear towards your shoulder again. So we're almost done. I think this will be our last stretch. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can comment them now. And lift your head back up. Rotate your head slightly towards the right and drop your ear back down. And lift your head back up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching and working out along with me. Sorry, just reading. Yes, and thank you to CKO for having me. I had a lot of fun putting this together, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned some new stretches, or maybe just got motivated to work on mobility a little bit more. It's a really important thing that we often don't, think about. But yeah, so thank you guys so much, and stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.